Hello, welcome back to the Aligned in Action podcast, and to those of you watching this live on Instagram. You cannot be a successful woman who achieves her biggest goals and lives her dream life while treating your body as an afterthought. Whether that is if you are skipping breakfast, you are cutting carbs, you are relying on caffeine, or maybe you go the other way and you eat a lot of junk food and you mindlessly snack because you are so busy. Either way, you are directly sabotaging your success in life. Your body isn't just something to think about later and deal with later, it's key to becoming your most powerful, successful, unstoppable you. In this episode, you will learn exactly how to fuel your body intentionally for peak energy, performance, focus throughout your day. You will also learn how to transform your training and the way you approach your training to not only have better, more productive sessions, which will in turn make you stronger, feel better, look better, but also impact the way you approach anything else in your life, in your business, in your career. And you will also learn how to combine meal planning with intuitive eating and making intuitive decisions to really make sure that we keep your body energized, strong, and it will keep you feeling good every single day. So, let me tell you about my client, Magdalena. She knows I'm talking about her. She has been my client for nearly 2 years now. So, we started when I was just a nutrition and fitness coach and health coach. So, we started working together when she was postpartum with her first daughter. And we kept working together since then on a one to one basis. She actually had her second daughter 4 months ago. She trained with me throughout her pregnancy and postpartum. And recently, since she also owns a really successful social media ads business, we have also added mindset and high performance coaching to her coaching package. Now, Magdalena wears so many hats, it's kind of ridiculous. So, as I said, she has two daughters, I think two under two, if I'm not mistaken. She runs a really successful business. She is married, so she has a husband. She obviously runs a house, and she also works as a nurse part-time, 20 hours a week. Not because she has to, but because she enjoys it and she likes that variety. She, as I said, she is wearing so many hats. She juggles so many things. And if you talk to her, if you see her, she has so much energy. She gets so much shit done. And the reason for that is over the past 2 years, we have really worked a lot on optimizing her nutrition, optimizing her fitness, both in terms of her training and in terms of her daily movement. And of course, we've also been working on her mindset, on nervous system regulation, and on being able to juggle all of those million things that she has to do while still feeling in control, while still having time for herself and her family. The way she does it is honestly admirable. And a lot of these things we are going to be talking about today. So, a lot of things that Magdalena does to be able to have such a incredibly successful, like lead such an incredibly successful life, we are going to be talking about these things today. So, my first tip for you, and I actually wrote it down so that I don't forget, is creating your personal energy blueprint. So, there are certain universal laws when it comes to nutrition, which you will hear everywhere else. And by the way, these three tips that I'm telling you are not going to be your usual eat more protein, strength train. We've all heard these things, we all know they are true. So I want to kind of dig a bit deeper and really talk to you as a woman who is ambitious, who has big goals, who really wants to make sure she's honing in on every aspect of her life so she can live the most expansive life. So the first thing I want to talk about is creating your specific energy blueprint when it comes to your food. So universal laws that we all know about when it comes to nutrition is we all need to have protein, we all need to have complex carbs, we all need to have healthy fats, and we all need to have our micronutrients, which are fruit and veg. But your body's response is unique, and that's something that a lot of people don't really talk about. You know, you hear that you need to have protein, so you might be having chicken every day and feeling sluggish and bloated. So it's really important to really get to know your own body and understand what works for you. A lot of women that I work with come to me feeling really bloated, they come to me feeling really sluggish, even though they feel like they're doing everything right. So, the first thing that I do with them is I get them to keep a food journal and I get them not only to audit what they eat, because that's only part of the picture, right? I also get them to audit how they feel either after every meal or at the end of the day. Ideally, it's best to do it during the day. So log what you're eating and then log how you're feeling, whether that's bloated, tired, energized, happy, annoyed, sad, whatever it is. Our food has such huge impact not only on the way that our body feels, bloated, all of that, tired, also on our mood as well. So that's why it's so, so important. So it's really important to just audit what you eat and identify the food and the meals that make you feel good, energized, strong versus the foods that make you feel bloated, tired. And again, it could be that chicken does that for you. It could be that broccoli does it for you. So even if certain things are healthy, quote unquote, they might not be healthy for you. So that's why it's really important. So I would encourage you, if you really want to hone in on the foods that are good for you and make you feel good and energized so you can really operate at your freaking best, do this for a week. And over that week, try not to have the same foods because I know normally we do end up having the same meals on repeat, which I'm all for. But over that week, try to have at least like every 2 days, try to have different foods and different meals. And that's when it comes to everything: different carbs, different protein sources, different vegetables, and different healthy fats, so that you can really tell which foods you react better to and which foods you don't react amazing to. So do this energy audit for 1 week, and I want you to come up with a blueprint of the foods and the meals that actually make you feel good. We want you feeling good. We want you feeling energized. We want you feeling like you can conquer the freaking world. And the way to do that is figuring out which foods do good for you and which foods do not. So let's go to our second tip, and that is intentional identity based training. And again, this is something that I don't think ever heard anyone talk about really. People just tell you how to train and what to do. No one really talks to you about how to approach your training from an identity perspective. So, how you train is not just about the physical action and the physical results, it directly affects how you approach everything else in life, and it also stems from the identity that you are embodying while training. Now, there are a few things that I want to say about that. Again, things that you have heard everywhere, well, recently, hopefully, is that we shouldn't do like 3, 4 hit sessions a week. We shouldn't only focus on cardio. We should strength train at least twice a week. So these are things that you've heard everywhere. I don't want to talk about them too much because I want to give you some new insights. But when it comes to strength training, it is super, super important. So if you feel good when doing a HIIT class, if you feel good when doing a run, I am not one of those coaches who would tell you to stop and not do HIIT and not do cardio. Those things are important. I definitely would encourage you to incorporate strength training as well. But I want to ask you, if we go on a deeper level, do you find yourself doing exhausting workouts a few times per week, really pushing yourself through exhaustion, not feeling good, going to these workouts, just waiting for them to finish, feeling sluggish afterwards? If you do, that means that we do need to change up both what you are doing, but also the way that you approach training in general. So, when you approach your training, I want you to approach it from the identity of your higher self and future self. I have talked about this in previous episodes about kind of creating this avatar of this next level woman that you want to be. And part of it is, how does she eat? How does she train? How does she approach her nutrition and training? When you are going into a workout, I want you to set an intention for that workout. It might be something like, I am going to give this my all because I want to prove to myself that I am strong AF today. So set an intention, but also when you approach literally every set and every rep, I want you to approach that from the identity of your future self. Instead of something that you might be doing now, kind of like, oh, let me just finish this, let me just half-ass it, let me kind of compromise my form because no one's really watching, no one really cares. I want you to approach it as, I am giving this rep and this set everything that I have got, because you need to understand this. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you approach your training from a place of, I am giving this my freaking all, I am strong, I am confident, I want to do this with full intention and full energy, that's how you're going to approach every other goal that you have in life: your career, your family, your business. Whatever that is, you will approach it that same way. If you find yourself half-assing your workouts, maybe even skipping some workouts, that energy will carry through to all other areas of your life. So when you are approaching Your every set and every rep, I want you to approach it from the identity of that next level woman who does everything with full confidence, with full energy, and with full intention, discipline, decisiveness. When you start approaching your training this way, you will find yourself approaching everything else this way. So, this is why training is so much more than just the physical action of training and the physical results. So, I want you to remember that the energy that you bring to your training is the same energy you bring to everything else in your life. Make each workout a conscious practice of excellence. And this brings us to our third tip, which is strategic meal planning and daily intuition. So there are two camps, I would say, in the fitness world, and in the nutrition world. One talks about intuitive eating, eating according to what feels right for you in the moment, making sure to stop when you are feeling full, making sure to tune into your body when you're feeling hungry and figuring out if you're really hungry or if you are just bored. So that's the intuitive eating camp. Then we have the other camp, which is rigid meal planning. Planning your meals all in advance, following the same rigid meal plan, whether that's something that someone wrote for you or something that you wrote for yourself, and achieving your goals that way. Now, both have a place. I am not here to shit on either one. Both have a place. I have done both myself. I have recommended both, like one or the other, to clients, depending on who they are and what works for them in life. However, what I have found to work best for us women is combining both. So, again, as ambitious, high achieving women with busy schedules, I do always recommend to all of my clients to plan their meals at the beginning of the week for the rest of the week. Plan what protein sources they're going to have, what carbs they're going to have, what fats they're going to have, what vegetables they're going to have, and also plan what meals they're going to have on different days. Now, I always tell them this is great to stick to, but we are not super rigid because as women, and I've talked about it, I talked about it last week on last week's episode as well, we have a very heightened intuition. So it could be that we wake up one day and we just feel in our body that what we have planned for lunch just won't work for us. And intuition is actually something that I have been refining more and more with myself recently. And I actually just signed up for an advanced intuition training as well. So this is something I'm excited to dive into even more and teach my clients. But I want you to, even if you do have your meals planned out, which I do recommend that, approach each meal thinking, okay, is this what's going to be good for me right now? So, for example, I'm going to go with the most basic example of chicken, broccoli, and rice. Say that's what you planned to have for dinner. Maybe you feel in the moment that actually beef is better for you right now than chicken, or tofu is better for you right now, or actually sweet potato would work better for you right now than rice, or anything like that. So, that's why I recommend making a few different options for your protein, for your carbs. So you always have these options available to you. And that's why I'm not all for like making those, like doing that meal prep that's like all in one, because that way you can't really mix and match. So preparing those different sources of food and making sure to also tune in intuitively every day and see what will work for you right now. And again, this is something that I'm refining right now, and I'm going to be teaching my clients tools as to how to really tune in and read their intuition as to what's best for them to eat right now. So, this way, when you get kind of the best of both worlds, you, on the one hand, get structure, you have things ready for you, you're making sure that you are eating in a way that reflects your fitness goals, your body goals, your energy goals. But you also maintain flexibility and the availability to really tune into your body and intuition, understand what will work for you in the moment. And this is so, so important. So, these are my three tips for you today. And becoming the successful, confident, unstoppable woman that you know you are meant to be starts with identity work and your nutrition and fitness. And they are all combined. You've heard me talk throughout these three tips about how getting very clear on your next level identity will sip into the way you make decisions with your training, with your nutrition, with everything else. So you need to think, how does this next level woman, how does she eat and how does she train? I don't want you to see nutrition or training as distractions or something that you just have to get out of the way. I don't want you to think about your body as an afterthought, something that you don't really think about. You kind of treat it as like, whatever, I have better things to deal with. No, your body is literally your business card. Like, if you are not treating your body well, you will not have energy, you will not be focused, you will feel sluggish, you will not be able to perform at your best. So do not treat your body as an afterthought, even if you have super busy schedule, a super successful business, employees, people that need you at any given moment. Trust me, the thing that needs you most in life is your body. If you don't have your body, and if you do not have your health, you have nothing. And when you start treating your body with the respect that it deserves, and if you start treating it as your key to success, everything else in your life will naturally align. So, this is what I have for you today. As always, if you want to work one on one with me, where in our one to one coaching, we work on so many different pillars. So, nutrition and fitness are one very important pillar that we work on. You get custom nutrition protocol, custom training program, and custom routines as well. We also work on your identity. We work on who you want to become. We work on your goals. We work on your limiting beliefs right now and how we can rewire them to make sure that there's nothing stopping you and nothing blocking you from achieving your next level self. That's one thing we work on. We work on aligned action, making sure that you are taking action that is aligned with, on the one hand, your goals and the big things that you want to achieve in life, but on the other hand, aligns with your energy patterns and with who you are. We cannot run ourselves to the ground and burn out. And there's a way to achieve our biggest goals without having to run ourselves to the ground. So we work on that. We work on nervous system regulation, which really relates to what I just said now, making sure you can achieve your goals in a way that is aligned with your body and your energy. And then the final pillar is what we just talked about now, which is our nutrition and fitness, and making sure they are aligned and they are spot on to help you become the most successful badass woman that you can be. So thank you all so much, those of you here on Instagram Live and those of you listening to the podcast. This was fun, and I will see you again next week.